Hello, fair listener. Welcome and thank you for following our journey on metagaming by Rum Propelled Gaming. Fair warning, sometimes we are not safe for work, and others not safe for real life. Journey forth at your own risk. Now let's dive right back into Tarath through the campaign Alilopolis.
Starting to.
Oh,
Fucking Greg.
The end approaches.
The hand of fate tosses the dice, rolls, spins, turns. A campaign starts and ends, leaving memories that become stories. Stories flow out into the infinite sea, painting it with legends. Legends wash up on the shores throughout the infinite sea, fading to myth until myths are forgotten. And again, the hand of fate tosses the dice, rolls, spins, turns. Hitherto, we left our adventurers known as the Rum Rollers in Socrates, after delivering Breath of the Red Dragon to Shandar, and of the Red Dragon named Shandar to Sir Ferris Tellus, the lead artificer of the factory district in Socrates, on behalf of Queen Theoda. And the people of Socrates, he promised, Sir Ferris promised to work for the cures of the citizens who have had their magic sparks stolen by the mana thieves from the ocean. He also gave them a satchel at the end of that will at the end of the day populate with the profits from the sales of the potion. Deciding their next move was to heal the newly acquired corpse of the wizard formerly known as Matt. Nimue, Kiro, and Rarl take a carriage to Zenith's altar, the goddess of knowledge. The head acolyte promises to heal the body, and Kiro harvests some octopus eyes to replace the missing ones from Matt's corpse. He says it will take 10 days, and the ring Nimue holds with his soul in it must be present. Then the Rum Rollers ask for corpses from the acolytes after being informed that the PNC is requesting 10 sacrifices for tribute. The head acolyte says he can manage some of that bodies in the morning, but then the Rum Rollers depart on or sleep on the Adune's deck and have dinner, where they run into a servant, or rather a student of Sir Ferris Tellus, who says that if Adune consents, he can start the upgrade process for her flying to a Zephyrus ship and no longer just be stuck in the waters. So they decide to head to the castle at Queen Theoda's invitation, and run into several meetings of others there, with Radaha Alorhin, the proprietor of the Pink Plush Pigs, being one of them. Another one of Sir Ferris Tellus' students, who was jitterily overworked, they could tell. And the head guard for the Socrates. After that, they meet with Queen Theoda and Shandar the Red, who had made an appearance and courted the Queen. Successfully, they seem to be getting along swingingly as the Rum Rollers negotiate a trade of 10,000 gold, or they negotiate Shandar's help in the future in their endeavors in fighting the PNC. After all of those chats, they begin to lay out their plan to provide the 10 sacrifices to the PNC and ask approval from the city guard to push back the undead horde at the gates when alerted by the Rum Rollers. They also start to explain their plan to Queen Theoda, and she just brushes them off and explains that she trusts them to solve the problem. Queen Theoda then dismisses the rum rollers after that to head to the air docks, where they meet their newly upgraded Adune, who is a beautifully now tree-masted ship that gets a wonderful celebration and send-off with some champagne and others bringing gifts for the rum rollers, including some of their requested items from the acolytes of Sir Ferris, who they'd asked for blessed water cannons and some other accoutrement. And with that, they set sail into the skies, with Adune heading north towards the lava tower with intentions to take on the PNC, where they immediately and swiftly take down a horde of zombies and the resulting zombie ball clot that they turned into a donut after blasting it with more water, with some of the blessed water cannons they newly got. Resting in the crew quarters, they have Adune continue to fly towards the lava tower after connecting with the guard and making sure that everything else was going to be taken care of before they embarked. As they woke up, they find a new companion, Ciro, who joins them, while discussions for the next steps in their attack on the PNC, Zenith and Lono make an appearance to explain that the rest of the gods have fled Tareth. Therefore, she needs their help in the heavens to save Tareth, and warns against facing the PNC at this time, as they stand with a plan to exfil from the planet, make it to the outer planets of this system, and open the seal to the rest of the worlds. Let's find out what happens this time. So yeah, you guys found yourself still on the decks of Adune, with the amethyst and gold dragons floating in the air, having explained their stance on what they think may be the best course of action, but have made abundantly clear that you guys have to make that decision. It is not theirs to make.
Look at the captain. It is her decision.
Into space.
Now I remember.
We are going into space.
And
Have
that's
they
no, that's
provided
not
us?
true. They want us to be
Gotta get some
gods.
moon dust for the king.
That's
Have they
also-
provided us with a reason why we should not
Gotta
face the
get
PNC?
some space dust for my dad.
And that's also why
These artifacts, or I'm going
Grand
to have
Dam
a heart
cast
attack.
contact other plane
She's gonna eat my legs.
and generated himself into some madness before Zenith healed him.
I'm imagining we're all kind of like standing around discussing and pondering, and Nimue is just like awkwardly patting him on the shoulder, like they're there.
Kiro is conflicted. Kiro is conflicted.
Zenith does come back and say, I wasn't explicit in my statements before, but they have built up large defenses in the time that you've left this area, and rooted themselves in quite nicely, as well as they...
Only someone could attack from the inside.
They also have set up quite a manufacturing station, as I understand, to build the ship to launch them off Tareth.
Okay, this is good information. Thank you.
So if you are suggesting that we don't attack the PNC at this time, you would like us to ascend to godhood? What's the next step in that direction?
Does that mean that everyone on Earth, on this planet dies?
I will address the question I had first from the young lady. She
Sure,
said
sorry.
I was mentioning the peninsula of Choi, which is where you will have to go instead of the lava tower, where you're headed now. However, as I said, it was your choice, and if you choose to go and face the PNC at this time, there are some pieces of information they have been able to keep to themselves, like how exactly they plan to do what they're planning to do to this seal that protects us, that is above even my pay grade. She kind of chuckles.
So the Peninsula of Joy is a location where we could secure more power to then come
It
back.
is. It loosely translates to the Peninsula of Heaven, and it is a route towards the heavens. Once you are there's a city, and from there you can get to the keep. There is a wizard's keep above the city that is only accessible through the city, and some of the contacts that we have there.
I'm already angelic, so it's really up to y'all.
So I mean,
the-
Lono is my god, right? So I'm sitting here looking at, I'm just like gonna fan a little bit because I'm just like, he's here. He's here. Only good things happen when Lono shows up. Like, despite what they're telling me, which seems that things are really bad, I think things are really good because Lono's here, right? Nothing bad would happen if Lono's here. Like, this is great, right? And I'm like looking around at everybody else. So yeah, sorry. Continue your questions.
And you probably at that point, Lono too is pointing to that berry that he gave you before, the grape that's the size of you.
Oh, he gave that to me, did he? Am I like holding it? I feel like I can't hold it if it's the size of me.
It appeared to you next to you on the deck because he's just been sitting on the cloud to the most point that he came in on eating grapes, except for at one point when Kiro, it's there. You can do whatever you want.
I'm gonna start trying to eat it. I'm gonna pull out. I don't know. I'm sure I have some sort of knife on me. I'm gonna pull out and just like try to cut.
Just like gnawing at the skin.
Yeah.
So, Nimue turns back to the dragons. The PNC is imminently going to launch themselves to the Green Moon. If we don't attack them, won't they succeed? Isn't there urgency there?
I believe their plans are to break away from this planet's gravity to get to the moon and set up a secondary base to allow for an easier access to the farther reaches of the planets.
Necromancers had a
Shouldn't
moon
we stop them?
I think at this point it would be very hard. As they establish a new base, it may be easier, and you will have access to more powers at that point.
I see. And maybe
It'd be easier to genocide the planet and start over. That's what you're saying. Let's not be coy about it.
Well, no. I'm against the genocide of this planet. That is one of the reasons I hope to stop this.
But you wish us to become gods and reform the planet in our image. Would this not include...
No, I've not said anything about reforming the planet in anyone's image. I want to protect it.
Really? I thought I swore I used... Maybe I'm remembering wrong. I looked at other people.
I was thinking more of a genocide of this green moon. Does this planet reside on any or rely on any tidal forces from this moon?
I wouldn't call it relying, as we have a secondary moon.
Good to know.
So we could explode the moon, is what
Grand
you're saying.
raised his hand.
Would be one of my hopes. Yes.
What would be what?
We would need to be gods for this?
Oh.
Unless you have some way to blow up the moon now.
I mean...
With all the other gods in hiding.
Wouldn't blowing up the moon cause pieces of it to come hurtling down and shatter the world?
If done inaccurately.
Maybe.
What if we got a big rope and wrapped it around the moon and then used a dune to pull it away?
What
And
if
then
we
blow
put
it
a
up.
bunch of our decanters of endless holy water on one part of the moon and
And
directly
flood the
force
moon.
outward like power jets?
All ideas, I guess, but again, they're not on the moon yet.
Okay, have we asked the moon if it would just move? Maybe.
Unfortunately, this particular moon has changed its
Electric
colors.
Grandam. Or, yeah, to Grandam. Can you cast Awaken on the moon so we can talk to it?
Is the
I
moon a
believe-
plant?
I believe it's changed its
know.
colors after Loki's release.
So it's sentient. It's to some degree? Or I don't know what that means. What do you mean? What does that mean?
Shouldn't there be like a god of the moon that we can find to talk to? Or am I missing it?
Wouldn't that just be the moon?
It seems that, at least from as he's the god of deception, it's hard to be sure, but I believe he has taken hold of that moon.
I think
Loki.
we should get rid of him.
Then why don't we deceive the god of deception?
Good luck. I don't know how to do that.
And
Okay.
get him wrapped up
Godly
in
powers.
and get him wrapped up in like a deal where he releases the moon permanently in exchange for something.
One of us could pretend to be a sexy lady and message him and
What
get
do
him
you
to
think?
Excuse
fall
me?
in love with us.
That would be very difficult as he's
Or man.
retreated to that moon.
That's great.
I mean, I am pretty angelic, so it might work.
You would have to go to
Wait,
the moon
so
yourself
hold on.
to do that, I believe.
I think we're pointing at the wrong direction. So here's the thing. The threat is that the PNC is going to try to escape this planet to go to the moon to eventually go elsewhere. We're focusing on only one link in that chain. Is there other links?
They gotta go elsewhere. Where else are they going?
They're trying to open up this solar system to the outside world or something.
Mirror should not be broken. The mirror should not be broken. The mirror should not be broken.
Okay.
As you're chanting
Is he
that,
okay?
and having had cast that before, I'm not sure if that was ever decided if we're going to resolve that or not.
Up to him.
I'm on board.
All right.
Oh god.
Can Franklin be reached?
I'd guess you were probably taking some sort of rest after that last fight.
If we have the option to rest, yes. I don't think
Yeah. You guys were headed towards the Cliff Castle in that campaign.
Sure. Well, so here's what would be going on with me. Or with Franklin. He's waiting for the Admiral's response. So he would have taken an astral diamond on his next rest to wait for her.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because that's what I've been trying to get a meeting, so I'm trying to wait for a response. And my request was, hey, if you want to meet, come to the tower.
Yeah, that changes some things then, because as you would try to possibly even use Dream to reach out, you would get a the number if you dialed has not been.
Okay, here's my question then.
I don't know.
The tower is completely outside of time and space, right?
Yep.
Would it be reasonable that an organization of people that monitor things that are outside of time and space might have access to astral diamonds?
Yes.
So, would it be reasonable that a Grand Dam from the Council of Grand Dams could appear to speak to?
They could appear in the tower, but I don't know if they would appear in the agreed upon secret room. that now
Right.
or our team has, or evil
That's
team
fair.
has.
That is an accurate statement. They would appear in front of the desk of Ishmael.
So I guess you guys could play that out, and they can request, whatever they want.
Is that what you're doing? Brandon?
Could be okay. This would be well outside of the scope of the character I have on, because if a Grand Dam shows up to talk to Franklin, it's not going to be the Grand Dam on the ship.
No.
It's going to be it's going to be the original Grand Dam I created back in ye olden days.
Okay.
Grand Dam Prime.
The ancient decrepit guy.
Yeah, well, no, not him.
No.
No,
Oh.
that's Grand Dam Senior, not to be confused with Grand Dam Prime.
Okay.
He's just senior.
Timeless is a word that could be used to describe this entity. If we're going down this road, sure.
All right. So
Grand Dam appears in front of Ishmael, but it is quite clear that this is not the exact same Grand Dam, though they are certainly cut from the same cloth. This one looks more haggard, as if burdened by the weight of 1,000 worlds on his shoulders. He holds in his left hand a staff, and in his right hangs a lantern with an eerie green glow. One eye is totally dilated, while the other has constricted down to the size of a pinhole. And he looks like he has been through 1,000 lifetimes worth of horror, yet still is hanging on there somehow.
and we can assume he's made contact with Ishmael before.
It's quite possible.
Okay. So
In the same way, like a powerful cleric might have come into contact with Ishmael.
maybe not this is Ishmael, but
Maybe not this one, but a Ishmael. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So he takes the astral diamond, lays down, and then gets a sense of wakeful dreaming as he tosses and turns and his consciousness slowly fades away. His eyes pop back open to standing in front of a beautiful inlaid mahogany desk and
Mahogany.
and a figure behind it that is clad in some loose robes of familiar face sits on top of that, to him I would guess then, with a goateed face and all black, jet black hair and jet black eyes, iris and sclera. And he looks up at you and says, "Oh." And he opens the book that he's got in front of him, and he goes down the list. "I believe Grand Dam Prime, am I right?"
Hey, Grand Dam. Both eyes fix on the god and just focus in on him.
So what
need
do
to
I owe?
speak to the turtle.
Oh, so that's the pleasure you're after. I see. There's usually a deal to be struck for certain things in natures of this. I would also have to contact my client to alert, as he's already made a deal. He's looking in the notes and reading some things, it looks like, to not be disturbed. So I will do that as you think about what might be you'd be willing to part with or do for me? He just raises an eyebrow, and you can see he like when you blink, there's like a kind of a blur where he was sitting, like he blurs for a second, but that's it. You can tell he's communicated with somebody else, and that's when Franklin inside of the safe space would get Ishamel's form there and to ask him permission to allow entry of Grand Dam Kellador Prime.
Bing bong. Franklin currently would be setting out some chairs in one corner of the room and a large circle of salt in the center of the room. Hey, Ishmael, what's up? Finger guns. Is the Admiral here?
He steps out of the elevator and he just goes, no, there's another gentleman here for you, though, it appears, going by the name of Grand Dam Kellador Prime.
Really? Oh, that's fun. What's he want?
It seems he wants a meeting.
Okay.
I
Would
did
you
ask
say
for his
that-
payment, just to be upfront about it, for
Sure.
him, for me, for this, but also that
Yeah.
I would need your permission.
Gotta get yours, right? Would it be safe here if I don't know what sort of entities we might be trying to summon in here? I kind of point at the circle. I'm setting up a magic circle so that if we summon a deity or an angel at some point, like we talked about, it would hopefully be stuck in there. Do you foresee any dangers to me, myself, or my allies if I bring this unknown person into our secretest of sanctums? Or do you have like a meeting room that you could like provide? I'd like to keep this place quiet.
Well, I guess I could
Yes, Granddad knows about it already.
provide
This guy went to.
a meeting
Sorry.
room of sorts, but
Cool.
I again would ask additional payment for that, as you've paid for this space
Sure.
and its use. But,
Okay.
just on top of that, I just wanted to say to your other questions, the only issue that I could see for yourselves is the risk that I'd stated before about this door over here, which would evacuate all air, create a boiling point of 0 for water, so any water would instantly boil off. And many other dangers, so radiation to say the least. But
I pick up my chair and I put it right next to the big red button. Got it.
And in an event that would so compromise this space as well for my safety, this entire space will not only evacuate if there is a breach, but also destruct within minutes.
Okay, so final question for you. This is going to be a little bit doozy. Don't want to take up too much of your time. I suspect that someone's going to try to blow up the entire planet soon. I know we could get here in dream form with our astral diamonds, but do you have like an emergency escape button where we could physically come here in case the world is exploding and we happen to be on the wrong side of that plan?
He just sucks his teeth and goes, yeah, that's a hard no. Any physical things that are here, I've either got to manifest them, or there are very limited ways. Actually, most
We
of
have
the
blood
gods.
samples from all of my allies. Anyway, we can start a cloning process. Take a while.
He looks up at the ceiling. Ethically, sure, it might be questionable, but
Like the clone spell, where it's just like a empty
physically?
shell, and then when they die, their soul comes in and like plugs in.
Physically,
Like,
yes. I mean, but yeah.
fuck yeah. I mean, I'll ask them, right? I'm not gonna like, hey guys, these are your children / clones.
But then you would be highly limited towards the outside worlds, and as you're only able to enter here through dreams, you would only be able to enter the other worlds through a dreamlike state.
Hey, look at me. I understand that. I understand the risks. I just need to know if it's an option, because existing in this place and be able to haunt people's dreams is a lot better than not existing at all.
Well, if you insist, I mean, there's only so much your payment could hold you over, though, I would guess, so eventually you would have to become part of the tower.
Yeah, we'll get a side job, part-time job, you know. Anyway, just wanted to check in on that. It doesn't seem like there's an easy way to do that until we get the materials to clone, which, I could get pretty easily. I think I have the money.
So I think we got sidetracked. Am I
Yeah, that's
getting
right. The
Grand
guy.
Dam here?
Yeah, why don't you bring him in? I don't care.
Okay.
I don't need to pay extra for a second room. Just
I
stick
figured that
him.
might not be acceptable. He'll come down in
Stick
the
him
elevator?
in. Yeah, stick him in the elevator, and then I put a chair just for him right in front of the door to emptiness of space, just in case.
Wait, what do you mean in front of the door in the emptiness of space? I'm confused.
So there's a door with a button that opens
Uh-huh.
and voids the room.
Yep.
His chair is going directly in front of that door, and I'm going to stick one of my bugs on that button in the mechanism so that if I need to, I can void him.
Okay.
And then I'm going to walk over to the side, tie a rope to a wall, and then just have it like loosely on the ground so that I can grab onto it if I need to. And then I sit in a chair that spins, and I turn so that I'm facing away from the elevator. And I take out my cricket and I start petting it like an evil genius. Or evil person.
Okay.
Wait for him.
Shift the camera back over to Grand Dam there. So you'd seen that blur of movement. Ishmael smiles at you and says, he's accepted your request. Have you thought of payment?
Grand Dam fishes in a pocket, and after a moment pulls out a acorn and offers it to Ishmael by taking his hand and giving him a firm shake.
You stick out your hand with the acorn in it. He looks at it, pulls a glove out of one of his drawers, puts it on his hand, and then goes to shake your hand.
Should be more.
Thank you. What's the breed on this?
Tree.
He
looks at it. It will flicker back and forth between being like he can see like almost like an aura around it, a multitude of possibilities.
Oh, it can be other trees. This is useful, especially because I love mahogany so much, and it's a hard to come by wood, let me tell you. And he sticks it in a desk and says, right this way. And he walks towards what looks like a set of stairs, one leading up, one leading down, and gestures towards the one that is leading down.
Grand Dam will go down.
And as you go down as you get about halfway down, the stairs turn into a slide, and you fall the last few feet into the elevator that you can feel also falling at a steady rate, but you're able to get your feet under you before the doors ding and open.
Yeah, he jumps at the last second.
And you get that sensation of free fall that you're looking for.
And then he will step out of the elevator, I guess, into Franklin's little clubhouse.
You see a big chair across from you slowly twirl, and I'm sitting in it, caressing the top of my bug's head, and I say, I've been expecting you. Hi, I'm Franklin.
You
It's
see,
cricket.
I gesture to a chair against the wall. Would you have a seat?
can you guys see the space?
Yeah.
As the space around you seems to be lined metal walls that have a slight hum to them. As you step out of the elevator, you can tell, especially as you're standing on an all glass floor that looks out into a starry void and a nebula beyond.
Place. Very sci-fi. I approve.
Thanks. I didn't decide it.
Grandam will
Where was
take
the door?
one
To
of the
the south.
chairs.
Okay.
Grandam will.
So
Where are we
I
at?
guess I would have been down here.
Yep.
Because the magic
And
circle would be in the center.
yep, that's what I thought. So yeah, you looked at. Okay, I see.
So
I
like
wasn't
down
sure.
here is kind of in like it looks kind of like an entry office because the elevator comes in here to the left,
Hmm.
and then you kind of like walk over, and then like I'm sitting backdropped by the edge of this magic circle.
Which is a salt circle.
Yeah,
Grandam grabs himself a
Fulton
chair.
blood.
That's the whole Tyrion.
And
Tyrion,
will come to
Tyrion.
sit across from you.
Do you like some water?
Nah,
Aquafina?
can't stand this
Diet
stuff.
Coke? Okay. So, what can I do for you? You've found me in a very difficult to find location, so I figure you must have something interesting to say. You laugh just like the other Grandam.
We all laugh like that.
Makes sense. Haven't met myself yet. Well, I have, but they're different me's.
Would you like to?
One day, but that's not my plan, that's his plan.
It's all his plan, isn't it?
Technically.
So, why do you distinguish yourself? Differentiate yourself.
Haven't been to enough arrhythmic veracities, bet, my friend. Every time I go, it become a little bit more alike.
See,
Speaking of which, there's a
in
big
most,
clock on a wall that's counting down.
oh Jesus, why is this? Oh Jesus, there's just a cough drop on the floor that's been disintegrated, and I don't know how.
Ooh.
It's just it's still in its wrapper. 1 second, I gotta throw this away.
Okay. Oh, okay.
It's like a gel in its wrapper. I gotta throw this shit away.
I wave my hand in front of the Grandam's face while he's zoned out, and I scoot him a little closer to the exit. Don't worry, his player's not watching. I wink at the camera.
I ugh. Not met anybody else that knows the truth.
Took a
We
while
hunt
to find
help.
out.
I imagine.
Sane people don't learn this secret.
No. No, we don't.
So,
Tell me, what is it you plan? You seem hell
right
bent on
now,
someone's destruction.
no, I'm not intent on any sort of destruction. I don't know if I should trust you or not, but maybe I will, just because there's so few others like me. I don't want destruction. I want this system that I live in with me and my friends to be fully sealed off from the influence of the gods and the rest of the multiverse. That's my plan. I want freedom. I've been a slave to these gods my entire life. Before I was born, they decided what was going to happen to me, and it was not good.
And what
So
becomes
do I
of
want to kill them all? Of course, I'd love to. But being more realistic, currently in our system, since you don't know, it's sealed off from the rest of the multiverse. All of the gods in this system have fled except for four, technically. One trapped in the center of the planet. One, and I glance at a book, and then I put it in a lead box, and I close the lead box. I have a plan to dispose of. And the other two have allied themselves with the other version of ourselves on the Allies team, and if they could get them to agree to leave as well, this entire system would be free. That's what I want. I want to be free. I don't want to die when they get bored of this game. I want my memory to live on in this little pocket of calm where people can grow up and have good lives and not have gods stick their hands up their butts and play them like puppets. That's what I want. And if I have to burn down the entire fucking system
Oh,
and kill every single god, I will. But if I don't have to, I won't. I want to create a safe haven.
you want the dream to last forever.
Don't we all? I'm literally undead. I have time. If I have to wait 1,000 years to make a move, I can.
But do
I'm
they?
not limited.
What happens when those dreamers wake up, friend?
Then they'll be awake. And they'll know. They'll have to come to terms with that themselves. We'll have a good therapy program in place. And when they do come to terms with it, they'll be happier for it. They won't be happier for it, but at least hopefully they'll accept it. I want to wake everyone up.
Why would you? No.
Maybe not across the entire multiverse. We don't know what will happen. It could be chaos and war. But in a system enclosed, separated from the gods, we could do that safely.
There is no separating
Slowly,
the dream from the dreamer.
securely.
There is no separating the dream from the dreamer. All you can do is pave the way that the dream can continue. That's why I came.
Hey, you're just like Grandam. You talk around circles.
No. That's why I came. Also, I am Grandam. Nor is
Yeah,
Grandam
my
like
Grandam. He's a little crazier than you, though. He's got this thing with a sexy rat. I don't get it.
Ugh. No, we don't do rats. Illithids
You don't.
sometimes.
Anyway,
I came to
so
make
that's
you
my
an-
plan.
I came,
You came here for a reason.
I came to make
You wanted
an
to
offer.
gauge me? Trying to put me down?
Came to make you an offer.
Hmm. What's that?
You want to close yourself off, hide away. I want to offer you a door. When this journey ends, come step through it and join me and my brothers.
Maybe. What are you
Right.
trying to do? What's your plan?
Story never ends, friend. The dream never ends because the story never ends.
Okay, I feel like I'm talking to Donald Trump right now. What's your plan? Like, what are you trying to accomplish? I understand the dream never ends, but like, I could accomplish that dream myself. Why should we join forces? What are you trying to do? I don't necessarily need to hide myself away, but if I could secure a safe place, I will. And then maybe I'll move on from there. If we can, the rest of the team has to agree to it too. I'm not the only one in this party. So what is the Grand Dam's trying to do?
Understand.
Okay. Build a big library. Gain more knowledge of the multiverse. For what purpose? Just to know? Or to help?
We
To hurt? Or to control?
all that stands as of now between those that lie beyond the mirror and those that dwell within it.
Really?
They're not malicious.
You're the ones you're the only thing in the way?
To my knowledge, I've never met someone else like me.
Got it. Yeah. Have you ever been there?
The other side?
Yeah. Another version of me went there once. Bunch of them. He was angrier.
I just wish to understand you a bit more. You are like me. But
And why don't we do this? Once a week, we'll set up a lunch date. We'll come here, we'll have lunch, talk about stuff, reality, all that bullshit. And if we survive, we survive. If we get to know each other and become friends, decide to work together, great. You can maybe meet the others. They're not here right now, but
I think they have plans. Speaking of which, I've taken enough of their time.
right.
It's good meeting you, Franklin Turtle.
Nice to meet you as well. I reach out to shake his hand.
When you take his hand, he dissolves into a pile of bugs and disappears.
Ooh, I love bugs. Glad I didn't have to kick him out the airlock. All right. Franklin continues setting up his tables and chairs, though they would be outside the circle. And they're creating a little guest entry area, waiting for calls. And then we can go from there. Yeah, that's a good spot for the circle, right in front of the door. Right in front of the airlock. So
Evac anybody that, yep. Evac anything you don't want inside.
Yep.
Down there.
Circle's failing. Foop.
Yep. Bye. Okay. We can go back.
Yep. So, that was all transpiring. As soon as Grand Dam Prime took the Astral Diamond to make the trip to Ishamel's Infinite Tower, everyone on Tarith and by the dragons hears kind of like a faint like the sound of water boiling, and you see kind of a streak far off in the clouds, like a meteor that's bright enough to be seen during the day, and it's growing larger. And Zenith turns to Lono and goes, "Well, if that isn't a sign."
They're going into space.
With without further ado, the meteor turns and heads straight towards you guys, and it was slow, but as it turned, it almost looked like it,
An angry face.
in a blink, in front of everyone, a boiling cloud of nebulous material floats behind the dragons, and one glowing orb in the center of it hums with a presence that you can only describe as authoritative.
Hmm.
And it hums out with kind of a little bit of a sloshing sound in it. Someone has entered the planar, or rather, you've been charged with interplanetary or intersolar system contact. And Zenith and Lono kind of float off to the side and look at you guys. And the glowing orb nebula floats closer and says, "The offending culprits will be diminished for the time until further prosecution could be held. I am Udon."
Mume's just gonna put their finger to their nose and look around at everybody.
I put my finger to my nose. Rarl
I put
does.
my finger to my nose and back
Nimue
up.
does, and she almost misses because she's just gaping at this thing.
Holy shit! Look at that thing.
Zero backs up and hides behind the sail.
Holy fuck! That thing is huge. Is your name
Is the rest of the
NSA?
party aware of the conversation that just happened?
No, the other party is not aware of the conversation that just took place.
Sorry, I meant the
Um,
rest of the party, like us.
No.
Okay.
Only Grand Dam would be aware that something had happened, but doesn't know of the conversation, so no.
But he also went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs last
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Zenith did heal him of that for the most part.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he's still
Got it.
always got a little bit of Cocoa Puffs, but
I guess my question is, does him going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs when he sent that message signal him out to the other team members here that he just did something? Like, does his
everybody
spell
would know
have
that.
a verbal somatic blah blah blah?
Everybody would know that he just did something because there was a door that you opened in space, that you went through, Grand Dam, right? For that
I
spell?
know, it's just a communication spell.
Oh, okay.
What's the verbal? Contact other plane. Because I'm trying to think if it's just verbal.
Yeah.
So you guys would have heard him say something, but I was trying to think if like he was doing something that because everyone's doing nose goes, right?
Yeah. Yep.
As if we don't know who just did it.
Mhm.
So I was trying to
And
see
then
if
picks his nose.
Oh yeah, it's a mental contact. Okay.
Okay.
Picks.
Franklin
Oh.
touched him.
Zero's gonna look around at everybody and start complaining. So y'all mean to tell me that I've been here for less than 20 minutes and y'all already get me in trouble with some intergalactic space thing?
welcome to the party.
I did say we were at war.
At least you're not
What
dead.
this fella is. Unless does Grand Dam know what this fella is?
How knowledgeable is this Grand Dam of the multiverse?
Welcome to the
Decently,
party,
but he's not crazy knowledgeable compared to like he
Grand Dam
was
Ryan.
an initiate when I brought him here. He ain't
Yeah,
Grand
I
Dam
thought.
Prime for sure.
I thought. Okay.
I got a question.
Hmm?
Oh, I got something I want to do. Hold on. I think I want to attempt to do this.
Yeet, do it.
Can I roll a religion check to see if this is from any major I don't know how to word it, but like from any
Pantheon?
cult that pantheon that I am aware of. Can I roll a religion
Hi.
check?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Kiro's just gonna pinch the bridge of his nose.
I got a 17. So what did I learn from this?
You know, as do most that have at one point resided in Choi, the place of the gods, that aka heaven, that these entities are slangly referred to as spaghetti monsters, and they roam the Cosmere and uphold the laws that were set in place by the
Oh hell.
by the celestials that guard the different realms.
Yeah, not gonna lie, Kiro is pinching the bridge of his nose right now. Hard.
Put on a strainer hat.
I'm gonna step up and try to de-escalate this situation. Hold up. Let me think of how I want to word this. So while I'm thinking, Ciro's just standing there touching the tip of his nose with kind of a perplexed, look of remembrance on his face as he's trying to figure out his next steps for this. Well, first I want to share with the rest of this little ragtag crew. This is what the Celestials commonly refer to as a spaghetti monster, or
I resent that, says the giant ball.
I'm not the one who originated it, so you can take that up with somebody else. I just catch on to the trends because I was never taught the real name of your species. However, they are here to enforce the rules put in by the gods over the different realms and solar systems and different planes of existence.
These cops.
Pretty much, pretty much. So
I
I
swear
just
off
want
our
to ask
swords,
you
just oregano.
what what is so wrong with communication between beings? Because the way you're making it sound, it seems like we did something inherently wrong. However, in my view, we didn't do anything different than talking to one another because we didn't do anything besides attempt to communicate, which is all that we're doing right now. We're sitting here having a conversation and communicating. So, with your logic, what you say we allegedly did would be as wrong as you talking to us and having a conversation with us currently.
And the nebula floats one of its curving arcs off into what can only be described as a tendril, or a noodle, and has a list that appears. There is no alleging transgression has transpired in this location, and he holds out the list and points down here. It appears to be one that is known of these transgressions, a grand dam.
So, but by your logic, him communicating with them is as wrong as you communicating with me, since it was just communication. So therefore, you
Grand,
are also a criminal of said transgression.
Grand
Incorrect.
Dam raises his hand.
There is no response. It doesn't seem to follow that.
I high five it.
Doesn't seem to understand. Zenith, though, does chime in and says, you might as well speak your piece.
Who said?
Who?
Ciro's eyes widen and his head snaps around to look directly at Grandam with his hand over his mouth.
I am not here to beg barter. I am only here to issue the punishment for the crime. And he, another noodly appendage comes out with what you can only just be described as a mason jar filled with clear liquid. You must ingest this, all of it.
Ciro says in his most like, I don't know, like
No. Who
some
said you're not allowed to?
accent.
No,
Is it
Mime's
really?
gonna be like, fucking spaghetti sauce, give it to me.
Is it really?
I mean,
International
it could.
pro-
Ciro chimes in and says it could be moonshine. So who
No,
knows?
Mime is actively trying to go grab the bottle. I don't know how close that thing is to the ship,
is
but Mime is like, that shit. It's like looking at Lono, like, Lono, help. like,
It's
he's
right
like
at
going.
right at the prow of the ship, and it's floating over that point, basically,
Yeah.
with
Mime's gonna run up and grab it.
Ciro's gonna, if Mime's not tall enough, Ciro's gonna let Mime stand on his back as a step stool.
Is it
yeah,
really
I just imagine Mime
interdimensional?
can't actually reach it. Mime's like leaning over the front of the ship or like jumping up to try to get it. Yeah, I'd gladly take Ciro's help to get to it.
Yeah, Ciro
How
lets
big is
Mime
this
stand.
mason jar?
We're talking in normal size for your guys's.
So I can hold it in one hand.
Mm-hmm.
Ciro's
Okay,
gonna
yeah.
let Mime stand on his shoulders like a cheerleader.
And Grandam, you were trying to say something?
First off, nobody said it was illegal. Second off, it's not really interdimensional contact, it's interpersonal contact when you're talking to yourself.
The law does not distinguish. You have contacted a place outside of this solar system. I again reiterate, I am not here to negotiate, only issue punishment. Grandam must drink of this.
What does this potion
All.
do?
It's obviously spaghetti sauce. And so Mime just like is ignoring everything and just assume if Mime can grab it.
Uh-huh.
Is it a mason jar? Or
Yes.
yeah.
Ciro's
It's just
trying
gonna like be opening it, and if nothing so I'm assuming it's gonna be
Intervenes.
strong, so intervenes, that's it. So
Ciro's
Mime's just like
lifting
gonna grab this
Mime.
thing and open it and just like take a swig. We're not chugging it, but like taking a healthy swig for sure.
I'm lifting Mime up, and then to let them try it, and with hopes of me also getting to try it.
I'm not in the right chat. I need to go here. Yes, I do. Don't lie. It is very strong, so as soon as you take the lid off of it, the vapors immediately assault your senses, and you
Yes.
you feel the burn before it even gets close to your lips.
Good old sauce.
Ciro just yells. It's like cinnamon mixed with ghost peppers, mixed with like some kind of acid.
And with the gulp that you took, you are already drunk condition.
Yes.
You know what?
Ciro
Hey,
gently sits
that's Grandam.
Mime down
Grandam
and
marches over, snags the bottle, and like
Mime
wraps
was
his
offended,
entire.
like I would have shared.
It's
Pass it
my
around.
fault. He wraps his, and seeing other people to like drinking this, he wraps his entire mouth around the like mouth of the mason jar, and just tilts his head back, taking it all.
you're
And
so greedy.
You
That's
you drank it all, you said?
as instructed, I'm not having the TPK on Grandam's behalf. Also,
Oh.
so you mean to tell me that I was the one that helped Mime get up and you're not even gonna let me take a drink of it? Really?
I got one drink, I guess.
Really?
That's Mime's gonna shed a tear, right? Like,
Good,
come on,
I'll
let me
cast contacting the plane again.
Zero holds Mime is holding Mime bridal style and just glaring at Grandam with the most irritated, conniving, and judgmental look on his face.
Okay. You are currently then now blackout, Grandam. You've surpassed drunk. You have no memory of what you do after this, and you have the poison condition, as well as being
So just straight up, no dwarven heritage helping me out here.
not from intergalactic moonshine. Sorry, buddy.
Okay.
That's exactly what I said. That is exactly what I said. I said it looked like moonshine.
And
So the punishment is get trashed.
there's 1 minute. There's one other
That's
side
excellent.
effect.
I love it.
Oh,
Zero
For-
just yells out, hey Nebula, do you happen to have another drawer of that for convenience?"
Yeah, we should all commit
the
crimes.
punishment. The punishment has been attributed, and then he starts to hum, and then shoots off in a blink again into
wait,
space.
how is Grandam not just puking his guts out right now?
Because he's like that happy
Dwarf.
blackout.
Dwarf.
Okay, Zero's
What a
gonna
great punishment for you.
still holding
still
Mime.
something else.
Zero's gonna walk over to
Something else.
Grandam and snatch the empty jar and put the lid back on and keep
Yeah,
it.
you could just
where
ask you could ask the ship to make more of that if there's like a tiny sample.
Yeah,
Um,
Zero's gonna hold on to the empty jar with residue in it.
I'm going to
After
ask
he
you guys to
snatches it
roll
from
these
Grandam.
because I rolled these and I didn't like those rolls. Could you roll me a
What?
D8, Mame or Mime, and Grandam? Could you roll me a D12?
Really glad I didn't drink anything.
I wish I would have drank something.
Expect I'm about to lose a level or something. So
It is supposed to be a punishment. That's what the guy said. Is the punishment getting free booze? If so, I will commit all the intergalactic crime.
Zero's still holding Mama is gonna turn and look at the Rawsons.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
yeah. I like those rolls much better.
I
I'll
don't know
let you
what
finish.
I don't know what you're referring to by that, but this could go one of two ways.
Oh, it's going away. So
That does not
for
sound pleasing.
for 10 hours, Grandam, and for 4 hours, Mime, you have lost,
God,
and Lono
no.
gets this sudden face-drawn look to his face, and his eyes bulge as your contact with him is severed for that time, and you guys cannot cast spells for that period of time.
For 10 hours?
Okay, guys, we
For
cannot
Grandam.
get in a fight. Let's long rest right now.
I'm gonna look at
You're all
Zero's
screwed.
But you're drunk, blackout. You don't remember anything.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Zero's
We also are in the
Zero's
middle
gonna
of a
look-
war. We're currently in the middle
Unless
of
we
a
go to the Crystal
war.
Tower. Hey guys, you got diamonds. There's something about diamonds. We made diamonds now. Diamonds?
I have diamonds. I hold up a sack of diamonds and I hand them over. I don't know what for.
Shine bright
Here.
like a diamond.
Here's
Shine
my
bright like
diamonds.
a
I don't know why you want
diamond.
them.
Shine
Zero's
bright
gonna
like
look
a diamond.
at Zero's gonna look at Nimue and if I babysit
Shine
this
bright.
if I babysit this one, do you think you could handle Grandam, or would that be more of a Kiro type situation? Zero says still holding Mime bridal style.
I think we need to divide and conquer. Yes, you take them. I'll take him. We need pretzels. Does anyone here know
I
what
will
a pretzel
get pretzels.
is? Yes, we need pretzels.
Also,
look
some water for hydration would be amazing.
Okay.
Zero says
I look up at the sky and I say,
Adune.
"Hey, Adune, can you pretzels and water?"
And Adune Adune responds post haste. Of course. And 2 hands pop out of the deck, out of the planking, and holding requested items.
Alright. I hand my sack of astral diamonds to the Admiral because she keeps singing about them. Here you go.
Yeah. And so
Zero's-
I'm gonna like
Zero's
pass
gonna-
them out to everybody. You get a diamond, and you get a diamond. Check under your
about-
seats. You get a diamond.
I think we need to
Zero's
put the
gonna-
diamonds in a container so she can tip it back and forth and look at it. This is
Zero's
what we
just
do for
gonna
the young
look-
ones in the castle.
Zero's just
And so
gonna,
Mime's gonna walk up
Huh.
to you and just put one down your shirt.
Zero wants to
Down
say
Nimue's shirt.
something.
She's speechless.
Zero wants to say something.
Ciro's just gonna like look around with a smug look on his face as if he's had to take a sip of this before and he knows the consequences.
So
So he just sits there holding Mime very content with a very content, cocky smirk on his face.
How's Grand Dam responding to this all too, since he's blackout? That's what I really want to
That's a
know.
Nimue problem.
Oh, well, here's the thing. Grand Dam's not going to remember any of this.
Nope.
Also, if he so that does include any magical abilities at all, including
Yep.
wild.
Yep.
All right.
Please don't have sex with you out.
No, that wasn't what was about to happen.
Thank God.
Sweet Mother of God. Grand Dam is going to go find that weed plant he awoke, though.
The what?
The weed plant he cast Awaken on.
Oh, so he goes
There's a
that's the
sentient
thing.
weed plant on
So
the
he
special.
goes-
Yeah.
walking back into the crew quarters, and with Nimue, I'm guessing, chasing after.
Yes. She is
And
holding up her
Ciro's gonna-
skirts, rushing after him.
Ciro's gonna chase after them, but he's still holding Mime. Like,
I'm just gonna shout after everybody,
Yeah.
take your diamonds and take a nap. It's
I
nap
have my
time. So I'm gonna look at
diamonds.
Zero and I'm gonna be like, to my hammock. To my hammock.
Yes.
Onward,
I think it's time to
steed!
put everyone down.
Ciro looks down at Mime and nods before yelling, "How about we both just tie them to their sleeping spot so that way they can't get up, Grandam can't smoke, and they can't do anything reckless? Can we just do
I mean-
that? Do we have rope readily available?"
If smoking
Sure.
will
Shit,
calm
what
him,
much-
I think as long as we have them
Really do.
contained within a room, then we'll be good.
So me and you
What
are
a
pretty
shit.
much,
What
so me
can
and you are pretty
we...
much playing babysitters for the next.
Percent.
However long.
Unnecessary. I am an adult and I will do what I want.
You're an incapacitated adult.
I-
You're
There's
an
a difference.
incapacitated adult.
You're a constipated adult.
I'm the one holding you. I could literally drop you on the floor head first right now if I so choose. So I'd pick your words wisely.
I think
Kiro
you should
walks
take
up.
me to my
Kiro-
hammock.
Kiro walks over to Ciro. The Admiral, please. That was as much of a you
He's
give
very
Admiral
possessive
now,
of the Admiral.
or
And Mime,
I take
like-
the Admiral.
Hey, Kiro, do you have
Yeah,
a thing
Mimi.
for her?
Mime's gonna give a like a salute to Kiro.
That would be
Okay.
cute.
Ciro's gonna
Yeah.
hand Mime to Kiro and then look around and like kind of snarkily say, y'all do realize I'm the only one who has experienced this before, so I know like all of the repercussions of this, right? Y'all aren't gonna
Everything's
ask
Buddy,
or are they just drunk? Like y'all aren't gonna.
Wait,
See
what's
if
the
there's-
problem? They are very drunk, yes?
Please
but
enlighten us.
There's more to it than just.
You guys.
Can you cast spells? I'm not a caster.
You guys, I've never. I love
I
you
don't know
guys.
how to check them for poison.
Fucking
You're
love
quite
you
fond of
guys.
you too, Grandam.
As
The,
And
the
she's
last,
patting him.
The last,
you
the last
guys get a
time that
nice
I
drunken
had-
smell.
the last time that I
permeating the
had said punishment. I mean, I don't
Uh-huh.
really think it was punishment. I had a good time, but to my remembrance, which is not much, honestly, because I chugged the whole thing. But from what I was told by the
Mime's
people
gonna
I
start
was
falling asleep.
With an
You
astral
can't
diamond
cast
under her tongue.
spells. You lose a couple of health
Mhm.
points, and you're drunk for an unspecified amount of time.
Yes,
It
that's why
depends
she's
on the
going
person.
to bed.
Yeah, Kiro is gingerly rocking the Admiral and taking the Admiral back to her hammock to sleep off the hangover. And basically, yes, Admiral, everything will go according to plan. Everything will be fine.
Is that when
Well,
Mimi pops back a weight and shoves the diamond in Hero's mouth? No, I'm just kidding.
Zero looks at Grandam and like sizes him up, looks him up and down. You do realize you're gonna get really hungry in about 20 minutes, right? You
You
realize that
don't
that's
want
also a side effect of this.
You don't want to be here when it happens.
Grandam, what's your favorite food?
What are you going to eat, Grandam? Is he going to eat you? Is that why he says you shouldn't be here?
I mean, I get that I have feathers. I get that I have wings, but we also have a chicken.
Right.
Which doesn't exist right now.
Oh,
Anyway,
well,
um,
who on this ship can cook?
Adune,
Zero
she
looks.
cooks
Can't cook.
everything. She makes stuff for us. We don't
I can
cook.
handle dessert, but dinner's
I
on
don't.
me.
I don't want to do chores. My siblings will for you, but no.
Grandam, what's your favorite food? What do you crave? Grandam?
Wave my hand in front of his face, thinking I have fallen
Hello?
asleep.
Am I muted?
Yeah,
How are
you might have been muted.
Uh, I want.
chicken?
Oh, you ever had bear jerky?
I have not.
Zero,
Yeah.
Zero's gonna Zero's gonna slightly nudge Rarl and hold up the empty mason jar. And how much you want to bet I can figure out what this is made of? And potentially
Easily. Hey,
try more.
Adonai. Oh,
Yes.
do you want this to be a challenge? Do you want to do it?
I wanna try to do it, but if I
Okay,
fail, Adune can fully
sure.
have
I
it.
mean, I believe in you. We have a brewing stand that has been abandoned for a while, but we just finished a big fight. I'm going to go lay down for a bit, and I hold up the diamond. It sounds like the Admiral took one of these, and she wants to do something at the tower. I don't know what, but
I'm trying to figure out which check I want to roll because I don't have any good ones that would be related to this. So
Usually it is you can always as per usual ask me. That is what I prefer first to
okay.
met. It could either be
Can I do a
um
religion check?
no, not in this case. Because this is something to do with more of your
Medicine?
wisdom and intellect. Medicine is a potential, is what I was thinking. Um, you could argue.
I read the nature one and it says terrain, plants, animals, and weather. So I don't know how
Yeah,
well that would.
yeah.
So,
The
so do you
best
think medicine would be the best one?
the best one would probably be medicine from a
Okay. I have a
real
plus
thing.
zero. I have a plus zero in that. So as long as I roll high, I should be good. I rolled a 10 even. So
Um, you're able to get it going to something, but you'll know for sure exactly after a few days because you know that it takes a while.
What was this that was just done?
So
I was trying to recreate the
Mm.
intergalactic moonshine
yeah,
from
so
from my knowledge about what it was.
you went to this part of the ship over here in the crew quarters that is littered
Can you move
with.
me because I have no clue where it is. So
I'm trying to find you.
I'm right next to Nimue.
There we go. You went over to an area that looks like it's got some red feathers strewn about it, so you know that you had that vague recollection of a chicken that you had must live here regularly and spend their time. And you start using some of the equipment that is already set out. It looks like somebody would set up some wine, from some fruits, and some other notes on experiments and such. And you set up a pot with some ingredients that you found around to try and recreate this.
Okay, Zero is gonna yell for the Rarls and say, I mean, this is gonna take a couple of days, but there is some wine over here if anybody else is interested. I can play babysitter. I'm fine with that. I've done experiences plenty of times before. So if
I
anybody
don't mind
wants
help.
some,
I
I
don't
can
mind help.
babysit.
I don't mind helping babysit, but a glass of wine will make it even better. And she floats over.
Zero's gonna pop the cork off with a dagger of his.
You
And
get you
Adune,
get
can I get some glasses, please?
Adune obliges and brings up one of her hands, of course. And
Okay, I'm gonna set out. I don't know how many rolls there are, but I'm gonna set out about 5 or 6 glasses of wine.
3 of them awake. One of them has now joined the captain and taking a nap. But the 3 will.
There are 6 glasses set at the table that I'm closest to. So Zero is gonna call for Kiro. Kiro, are you interested at all, or is this just gonna be a Rarl and Nimue thing?
What is it that you need? Because I'm pretty
So
sure
I
he's
just
made it. He's made it to the hammock. He's made it to the hammock to drop off the admiral and return.
oh he I just popped open a bottle of wine that I found by the brewing station.
does this mean that Grand Dam has been left alone
I
unattended?
was imagining that Nimue would usher him with her.
Okay. Is Grand Dam struggling against this or just enjoying his toke while being
He
Trying to
can be dragged around as long as he's enjoying his sentient weed.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like he's at this point he's crossfaded, so he needs like something.
Does the weed plant watch you smoke it?
The weed plant smokes
Does it
itself.
smoke?
Yeah.
Yes!
Smoke is so with you.
Cha, bruh. Just pulls a nug off.
I use
Zero's
grow
gonna,
Really
plant to
eating
make
his
Zero's
own
sure
gonna,
he's
shit.
healthy and strong.
Zero's gonna gently take the blunt away from Grandam, puff it, and then give it back to him.
You're gonna need to. Grand Dam's blackout at this point, so he's not gonna remember anything that would actually happen to him from those effects. But you're gonna need to roll a Constitution saving throw from that.
Which one of us?
That'd be you, Zero.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
If
Hold up, let
Kira
me
was
get
in
my.
if Kira was in the right state of mind, he would probably have tried to stop you. But he is currently having an existential crisis, sort of.
Mm.
A 10 again.
A 10. Okay.
Good.
Yeah,
You feel good.
your movement speed has been reduced by 10, and
Okay, I'm fine with that.
you have a -1 on your intelligence checks, anything related to intelligence right now, but you have a
He already has a -1 on
so it's
anything
negative.
intelligence related.
So
So
it's a -2 right now, and then you have a +1 probably in your charisma right now, in addition to your
Wow.
normal.
okay, he's already got +6 charisma, so that's gonna come. That's gonna be interesting. Zero is gonna look
And
over at Nimue and give a very and smile, but he has a very glazed over look on his.
and overall, you feel like everything that you were doing doesn't really matter all that much anymore. And why are you doing it anyways? This is all great. Everything's great. It's fine.
I mean, he does what he wants anyways, so that doesn't change anything. Zero's gonna look over at the raw and stutter a little bit and stumble on his words as he's processing the. I'm trying to think of
Hey,
the name for
buddy.
it.
How's it going? Do you want to start a riot?
No,
Okay.
I am kind of hungry though. I
Oh,
don't know.
Adone
I
has
don't.
food.
I don't know what I want though. That's the problem. Zero's gonna go and start in very like slowly stir the pot with his eyes slightly squinted as the pot of intergalactic moonshine question mark because he doesn't know if he's made the right thing yet. He thinks he does, but who knows? So he's just gonna go and stir the pot of mystery liquid slowly.
Okay.
Um, if that's what you guys are doing, well, I'll shift over then to Rarl and Admiral Mimet in the Infinite Tower. You guys closed your
Ain't nobody
eyes
want to go.
and got a soft wash to your consciousness as if you just had a long rest. Those feelings that you had before too aren't persisting for yourself. It seems like Mime of being drunk specifically, but you find yourselves in front of the desk of Ishmael, who greets you both. So I think you. I'm not actually sure if you've both been there.
Mime's never been here, if I
Okay, so
recall. It's always Mame that's been.
that's what I thought. I didn't
Yeah.
see your token in here. I didn't think Rarl had necessarily either, but
He's
you're.
been here.
I was trying to
We've
find.
we've done good campaigns in the tower before.
That's what I don't remember doing them. That's the thing. But
Granddad's been here
The
before.
chess game. The chess game.
It was the chess game, and
Oh, yeah,
there
I
was
see
a
it now.
room. There was a room that had like some sort of like industrial use, and we just fucked it up. We were
Okay.
making like
What?
mushroom soup
Yeah.
or something. There's a tree. We lightninged it or
I believe you.
firewalled it.
It was more so
Okay.
just me trying to re-go back through to. So Ishmael looks up from his book and goes, "Ah, Rarl Rarlson. Am I right?"
Stop. You got it,
And
buddy.
a new player has joined the tower. May I have your name?
Hey, you know.
He's looking at Mime.
Mime's just gonna look back.
May I have your name? He looks over at
Mime?
Rarl. Oh, okay. Mime? Just Mime or
Yes.
okay, Mime, yes. Got it. I think I was alerted to let you join Franklin. If that rings a bell.
Mime's just gonna shrug.
Not sure what that response means, but Ishmael does blink over to Franklin for a second and
Finger guns.
say, I've got two here for you again. Quite a busy
Oh.
day for you. We've got a
Only two?
Mime, yes, and Rarl Rarlson.
Mime, yes.
That's what they said, I think.
Okay. I don't think that's her last name. She's just an interesting sort. Alright, yeah, for sure. Let them in. If anyone else happens to pop in later, please have them join us. I was hoping for more, but the Admiral is in
When
charge.
you say anyone, I should always
No,
run it
not
by
that
you.
just anyone.
I run it by you first, right? That
Yeah,
was
run it
asking.
by
That was
me.
okay.
Yeah,
That's why I just wanted to check.
for
Make
sure.
sure.
I don't want a loophole.
All right. Well, I'll be back, or
Thank
rather,
you.
I'll send them down.
Perfect.
And
Thank you. I appreciate it.
he blinks back over to you guys, Rarl and Mime, and is all right. Mime, yes, said Rarlson. You may descend down the stairs back there. If you're looking to meet with Franklin.
Cool. Is that what we're
Okay.
doing? I hop up.
Yeah, we'll also just follow and go down the stairs or wherever.
Oh wait,
I'll,
Wherever Earl is going.
when were we
I'll
allowed
drink
to go?
some of the.
Were we allowed to go with them?
Yeah, well,
You would have had to
Mime handed out
take
a
a
bunch of the
diamond.
astral
Oh,
diamonds and was telling people to go
Yeah.
to sleep to
I
join
guess
this.
I guess Kira will join y'all too in the sleepness.
Yeah, so anyone who wants to has access and can join.
And Ciro's gonna do it because why not?
As long as Grand Dam is awake, Nimue awake.
I mean, this is the first physical meeting between teams in the game.
And then
Outside of
we'll
you and
go.
Rick.
I don't know who Ishmael is. I'm a little confused on that part, but I'm going along with it because why not?
Granddad will go after he's eaten.
Fair enough.
Adune whips up
Ciro sat the
a
pot back on the burner and just sat down on the floor and just laid back.
with an astral diamond in your mouth, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
All right, and Nimue probably would have followed then Grand Dam to the kitchen where Adune said that she'd whip something up, and she makes her tree form, and whips up a batch of grilled cheeses and tomato soup for Grand Dam
Can you
Nimue.
get some bear jerky, or can you procure? If
He
you
will
can't procure
absolutely
bear jerky,
take. He will
Any other
absolutely
carnivore?
take. He will absolutely take grilled cheese into me. He was just shouting nonsense when he said that. He will eat a grilled cheese.
Fantastic.
I have changed my answer.
Love to hear it.
Grilled cheese is best food.
Yeah.
I've
Ciro
seen
just
someone.
passed out dead center of that green alchemy circle on the floor.
I imagine Grand Dam as one of those people who just has a grilled cheese sandwich in his pocket.
Literally.
Saying that as someone who
It's
used to
usually
put
an apple.
have pocket chicken.
Granddad doesn't get like grilled cheese. He seems like he would have like a patty melt in his pocket, like a patty melt on toast specifically. That would be what he would have.
So, oh yeah, that's probably why you guys couldn't see any stuff too. But so, yeah, everyone lays down and pops in. It looks like to Ishmael as he's sitting back down at his desk.
Okay, I don't know what Ishmael is, so can y'all give me a slight little
Yeah.
debrief on it? I kind of know
Yep.
what I'm doing.
I need to actually go back over to that because I thought I grabbed you too, but I apparently did not. Here, close. Come on. There we go. Click. Back over here. And he greets Grandam and Kuro with a nod. Grandam and Kuro. Kenpachi, I believe.
Ishmael. Nice to see you again.
And he looks at Ciro and Nimue. I don't believe I've met your friends, though. Could I get your names? Also, Granddad, would you like me to add something to yours? It might get a little confusing in here otherwise.
The same.
Your Granddam sandwich?
No, this is a grand damn sandwich. He holds up his grilled cheese.
So, okay, but you want me to add some... Do you have a last name? Or a
Elidor?
distinct... Okay. Is that different from the other Granddam Calidor?
Oh,
In what
you
way?
want my designation? I'm
Yes,
Grand Dam
please.
Alpha 3265905.
Ooh.
Were you born in a lab?
962.
There's a lot of us.
Okay. The tower should be able to keep track of that, but
People get confused because my siblings' names all rhyme with Rarl.
and your two names? And he looks between Nimue and Ciro.
So Nimue she's kind of startled that she's in a place that she did not fall asleep in. And she's looking around the room and she goes, "You may not have my name, but you may call me Nimue."
Okay, he's not Faye.
Yeah, I guess they didn't explain.
He's not one of those.
I'm an exiled god. I think I've been telling the story, but I don't think everybody must have told you the story. I reside outside of time and space, inside of my infinite tower here.
Guys, we just talked about this. And your shoulders kind of slump, referencing what just happened with the moonshine. Weren't we just reprimanded for such behavior?
Ciro, while they're having this conversation, Ciro's gonna absent-mindedly walk over to the globe and spin it a few times.
Now you see why I was confused.
Yeah, we haven't been. We've done this before, but we haven't gotten yelled at and made to drink nice
think-
whiskey.
Oh, you got a visit from a spaghetti monster.
Yeah, we did.
In response to that, Grand Dam belt.
Ciro's just gonna look over at the crowd and yell, "See, I wasn't lying about the spaghetti monster. It's real. That is what we call it. It is real."
Would you say Granddad, though? I didn't catch that last part.
Grand Dam, in response to that statement, belches very violently and drunkenly.
That
Oh.
seems to be the case. You're no longer drunk in this space, though, if you didn't know. He looks at you. So that's
Boring.
your own affectation there, but I get it. It's hard to relinquish the feelings of the flesh. It took me a while. Anyways,
Point of order, real quick. When I was told that Mei was here, I would have linked up to my swarm to then let the rest of Team Shadow Hunters or Shadow Seekers also know, so that any of them who wish to join can also join.
Oh, Kalimba's showing up. Kalimba's here.
So it's not just Franklin and Team Good Guys, it's anyone currently here who wants to be here from either side.
Kalimba's very social, so she's
And
gonna show up.
Yeah, and as Franklin in it, I will explain like, hey, this is a meeting between us and another team, or give the whole kind of rundown. It'll take a while here, but essentially, they already know his position on the gods. They already know that he thinks that there's another team out there that's equal and opposite of them. They know he's been contacting people outside. So he lays out all of the information he has, and kind of gives them an update.
You assume Ezra has the mental capacity to realize.
No,
what
he
you're saying.
doesn't. But like I'm saying it, so he's there, so he feels included.
Oh, you're such a good friend.
They really need to get you an awakened spell, bud.
Hats off.
Sure.
Would we be acting both characters in this session?
Yes.
I was not prepared for that.
Get prepared.
As Team Shadowhunters is preparing themselves to do this, Callie is gonna look at Mame and just say, "I'll go if you do."
If Mama Ash goes, Ezra always goes.
She's not here right now.
Yeah, Ash doesn't exist.
Who is enticing us to come? Entreating?
I am.
Franklin.
Franklin.
I am trying to.
Oh.
I lay everything out. Like I lay everything out. I'm trying to get a meeting between us and another version of us.
Now it's kind of like everybody's on the same page. No, on that side, there's no secrets like held between anybody. Is that the kind of the?
That's my intent as Franklin on that side. Yeah, he's held on to a lot of secrets, but he kind of lays everything out. His intent, which is essentially to seal this section off of the system, remove influence of the gods, let us all live free, and or if we have to escape, we know that there's a spaceship on level 2 of hell, and we know now that they are building one on level 1. So there are 2 ships.
Yeah, so Mame is inclined to go with Franklin. Not because Mame thinks it's a good idea, but because Franklin needs supervision.
And Callie's gonna go with Mama goes. So
I'm just trying to get everyone together and talk.
Franklin also needs supervision.
He has an Ezra.
Ezra also needs supervision.
Well,
Ezra needs an
Guessing that
adult.
Guessing that means Faust attends as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Callie's gonna go on to supervise Ezra, and Mama can supervise Franklin.
And so you guys all lay down after your fight in the pocket rocket. We'll get to that next session, but just to breeze over it, and take the astral diamond and wake up in that room already, because you guys all have access via Franklin, who was preordained who could come from that side of things. It's kind of like a guest list situation. So once you're in, as long as you give permission to Ishmael, you
Yeah.
go right to that room.
There's definitely on Ishmael's table a box that says please insert Aliopolis torque into lead box. You can hold on to lead box, but keep that shit sealed.
All right.
And Aganon would have gone.
And all holy symbols.
Aganon would not have gone?
No, he would have, just out of curiosity, and he would feel at a disadvantage if he was not a part of those conversations.
Aganon is the one character I know absolutely nothing about. Like I know at least a little bit about everybody else, but Callie hasn't met Aganon in this one yet.
Nope.
Yeah, that last request Skiro is not.
We'll get to those.
Yeah, he doesn't say much, and he's very skittish.
For sure, because then
imagine. Okay, so for Aganon, imagine a cross between Captain Jack Sparrow and Flynn from Tangled.
Oh, I get exactly the vibe. Okay, that was the perfect reference.
Okay, so upstairs, and in Ishmael's greeting chamber there, Rarl and Mime would have seen the other crew popping into existence at there, and probably just standing there holding the elevator door, like while he's asking for Nimue and Ciro's names, and he writes down Nimue. And to your question there, madam, this space exists outside of the touch of any gods or rules of the other gods and celestials.
Well, that's a relief. Thank you.
Ciro's gonna look over at Grandale and just size him up. So you mean to tell me there was this space that we could have avoided the whole punishment situation if you would have just contacted them from here, since the rules are kind of invalid here?
I laugh.
Crime was still committed in the general world.
Zero's just gonna roll his eyes and continue spinning the globe that he's fixated
Uh,
on.
Well, winged sir, I need your name still.
Zero, I don't have a surname that was taken from me after I was, banished to hell. But that's besides the point.
That's a really long last name you got there. Zero. I don't have a last name. It's been taken from me because I was been banished to hell.
That's his new last name.
Zero's
Legally.
Zero's just gonna glare over and choose not to acknowledge that.
Well, that's how it's going to be recorded in the tower for now. So, I've just he blinks, like his form and figure seems to shimmer and blink. Franklin, I think I got the rest of the crew here. Just want to run the names by you so that they're on the guest list. I got Kiro, Grandam, Nimue, and Zero.
Yep. Great.
All right.
I look over my shoulder, assuming whoever from our side is already now in the room because they just get to come here.
Yeah, Callie's probably sat somewhere just fanning herself with her little war fan.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
thinking there's like a big round circular table split in half. One side painted one color, one side painted the other.
Yeah, Callie's just sat on her side, just fanning herself.
How does Franklin currently look right now?
In this
Isn't
space,
so
he would
distant
look.
adamantine?
Yeah, he would look regular. He's not in a dream, so he looks like a monster.
Yeah.
So he's just a shiny monster at this point because he's
Yeah,
distant.
so I am covered in bugs, providing a facsimile of flesh. Though I am now wearing a very Palpatine-esque shimmer robe, so I am mostly covered.
Callie's just in her basic little beachy outfit with her little net bag, sat like she has the leg of the chair sat through like the handle of her bag so nobody steals it.
No, that's smart. You can't trust these guys. Well, we're hoping we could trust these guys, but maybe there's a thief. Like rogues, classes. I don't know.
So you're just gonna follow your friends over there down the elevators, and he pointing to Rarl and Mime, who seem to be holding an elevator door open for you guys.
Wave.
Zero's gonna tuck and roll into the elevator door
Cool.
just to be extra.
Kiro, he stays as the last man to go in, so he's the first man out in case of danger.
Nice. Remember, ceilings and the doors, corners and doors.
Corners and doors.
Okay, we're all here.
So
Hit the
is
button.
Nimue and Grandam following, I'm
Yeah.
guessing, too?
Mhm.
Just confirming.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys all cram into this elevator, shoulder to shoulder. This thing is not meant space-wise for this many people, you can tell. But it doesn't seem to struggle as it glides down whatever system that it's working off of. And Kiro, the door opens and Kiro almost is pushed out / stumbled from the amount of people that come out of the elevator at this point. And you see an immaculate space that, as I've described before, which is a glass floor that looks out into a starry abyss, a nebula, not far from your feet.
There's a glowing circle to one side, big circular table in the middle. Half the chairs kind of, I would assume, already taken.
So I'm gonna say that Callie chose to sit next to Ezra and is shoulder to shoulder with him just in case she needs to be protected.
Oh, yeah, you've got your two characters meeting in the space with a table and chairs. And
so,
What you
from the Kiro side, he's going to take stock of what's across, like as he exits, what's across from him. So he notices, from what he sees, is a Goliath, a dog, a human, a orc, and his eyes will land directly on the man in the hood.
I wiggle my finger bones in like a little wave.
And
That's Callie is
You can
just gonna like
just see a
gently
little bit of
nudge
my like
Franklin.
skull face. Sorry, go
Callie,
ahead.
Callie's gonna gently nudge Franklin and just look at him with like a slight tinge of disgust on her face from the bone wiggling.
What? You don't like that?
I
What's wrong
mean,
with
Kiro,
it?
who in their right mind would? Really?
Kiro's hand
That's
will
nasty.
Wave,
move to
would
his
wave like that?
sword
Hero's
and
hands on the
say,
sword. Mhm.
Admiral, we have undead.
Oh, hold on one second. I gotta deal with this. I stand up. Admiral, thank you for joining us. Kiro, nice to see you again. Hello, everyone. Welcome, finally. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Franklin.
And I remember the last time I talked to you, I said I would console your soul.
You would. You can't hear. You can't die here, see? So this is safe.
After that is
This is
said,
what you
Ciro,
call a
Ciro,
neutral territory. You can't die. Oh,
Ciro
yeah. I
just
turned to
gonna
Kuro. You can't die here. If you actually die, you'll just wake up in real life. So, like, don't worry.
after that is said, Ciro's just gonna very with a lack of caution walk up and sit in one of the chairs, knowing
Chill.
that he can't be physically harmed.
Chill. Chill, 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 chill. Listen, I know you probably have some
I don't think
bias against me.
I don't think anybody's sitting at the table so far other than Zero.
I'll sit down. Or I assumed I was already sitting.
Yeah, you guys had said from Shadowseeker's side, everyone was sitting, but yeah, I was
I'm
talking
waiting
about
for the
more.
Admiral. She's in charge.
Except for Ezra. Ezra's totally just rolling around on the ground, not paying attention.
Mhm.
Okay, but he's rolling next to Callie just in case she needs a little
Moral support.
extra protection,
Now,
just in case.
there's no protection needed. We can't die here. Even if we get into a fight, it'll be fine. I don't want to fight, right? I don't view you as my enemies. Even if you do see, some of you see me as an enemy, that's okay. You know, first impressions matter, and I obviously don't make a great first one. So, just gotta perceive.
Callie's gonna look over at Franklin and
Stop.
double check something that she learned.
What's up?
So you mean to tell me that they're like the yin to our yang, kind of like we're opposites that complement each other?
You're
Kind
actually
of.
getting two feedbacks currently too. So as Alex, you are seeing through the eyes of Zero and Callie. But you guys aren't connected at this point. You don't realize, other than you, Alex, knowing that at this point.
Didn't
Probably the same for Rec
didn't
and
Franklin
Grandam.
Yep, for
didn't
everyone
Franklin like
other than
debrief like Callie saying that like explaining everything?
Yeah,
yes.
and during that debrief, I probably would have mentioned those who have not experienced the eurythmic veracity don't have that like innate connection to their other.
Callie's just gonna have no clue what that means. So
I get it.
she-
I don't want to give you the big
yeah.
details because that's the you wouldn't believe that. Anyway, I got in trouble for doing that earlier, so
Callie
I'm
doesn't
just
know what either
leave
of
it
those
alone
words
on that.
mean. So
It's all right. Anyway, I look to the Admiral. Sorry, we're rambling. We'd like to have just an honest and open discussion about our goals, about the end of the world that is imminently approaching,
All which
about
can be
the
solved by
situation that we currently have, and
all by which we can solve by purging the undead. Kiro taps the
I mean,
tip of his hilt.
yes, that is part of the discussion. I gesture at the chair that I would like to have with you. I understand you don't like me. You think I'm undead. You think I deserve to rot in hell or like be passed on. I think you're right, but I'm not done yet.
Kiro will not sit, but he will stand right behind the admiral as she sits.
Yeah, so like Mime is not going to sit down. Mime is going to stand over here to the side. You know, Mime and Mame are just kind of like gravitate towards each other over to the side. Like we don't have to sit. Everything's fine. I don't know. Is Mime still drunk here? Is Mime able to cast
Nope.
magic?
Yes.
Still drunk.
Not drunk, can cast magic.
Oh, okay. So the effects of
just in
the
case someone
spaghetti sauce aren't
do
here. Okay,
something.
cool.
So, as soon as Nimue steps out of the elevator and sees Aganon, she'll take 2 steps out and freeze. And he sees her at the same moment, and he stands up, legs of his chair scraping backwards. And they just have a moment where they're staring at each other. She's staring daggers, and he's surprised. And it's just a brief pause on her end. But then she composes herself and continues to walk over and sits directly across from him. And during that whole conversation, the whole monologue from Franklin, they're just glaring at each other across the table.
Ooh,
No words.
tension.
Mhm.
See, some of us know each other from before.
And he sits back down.
Great. This is gonna be great. Made jalapeno poppers if anyone's hungry. Throw them on the table.
You
Anyway.
said food. Ezra went food.
Oh, there you go, bud.
And
Don't worry,
Okay.
I have 6 more plates. That one's big just for him.
it looks like then Ezra would probably. I've got as many chairs as I can get around this thing, but I'm guessing that Ezra's probably just standing on the or near the table anyhow and eating the jalapenos.
Whatever falls. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, and then the only person we haven't heard from, is Grand Dam and Faust. I just seen Grand Dam zoom across over to where Franklin was about to sit, though. Is that what's happening?
Runs over my chair. I just met Grand Am Prime too. Weird lot.
I see Faust there. Are you muted? Are you trying to talk?
Sweet Jesus. Yes, I'm muted. Okay, fun. Grand Dam is beelining for the jalapeno poppers.
Oh, I see.
Oh no. Oh no.
There's extra. Don't worry. Don't
These are mine.
worry.
These are mine.
That bowl is yours. You gotta leave this bowl for the others.
No, they're mine.
Oh, if you do, baby, I'll let you eat someone
Grand Dam
who's
will
already
get
dead and
Grand Dam will get
justifiably
on
dead.
all fours and absolutely growl at Ezra.
God. Okay, I back up. They're gonna get into a fight.
Ellie just sits there waving her fans judgmentally, and Ciro sits there with his arms crossed, leaned back in the chair.
Anyway, great start. Great start, guys. Yeah, so Eurythmic Veracity approaches. Only a couple weeks away, right, Admiral? She knows.
Guns.
And from my understanding, you guys have been approached by several gods who wish to elevate you to the position of godhood and blow up a moon?
It is not our
I
job
think that
to
the moon exploding is
bend or
optional.
defy the gods. It is our job to serve them.
Yeah, you are pretty dogmatic. Does everyone agree with that?
Kay's gonna stand up and say her piece.
Sure.
I don't think it's our job to serve the gods, although I feel indebted to one of them for stuff that has happened in the past. I don't at all feel entitled to serve her other than work with her for a better future on whatever planet we may call this. So I'm not at all worried about feeling indebted or servitude towards the god, but you are still entitled to feel however you want. So, and then she's gonna sit back down and pull her chair closer to the table.
Thank you.
Nimue will stand. If the gods are cowering, and we have the opportunity to step up and fill the void that they have left, I say that this is our responsibility.
Do you think you'd be a good god?
We're
Fair.
all that is. It seems.
I guess my question is, to my understanding of the situation, update me if I'm wrong. The solar system that we currently live in is separated off from the rest of the realities, which is what they're trying to maintain, right? Now, inside of this system, there are currently 4 gods? 2, 3, maybe. 3, maybe 4. 2 good, 2 evil.
Oh,
Callie's gonna look over at Franklin and say, I mean, 5 if you can count the fact that I did have contact with my Aphrodite from my planet when I was knocked unconscious by the fall, but I don't know if that counts.
So
Also, I have
rules
an
for
actual.
thee, but not for me, right? Because you guys just got in trouble for contacting outside of this system, but they can contact you, or is she here?
This was last time in the evil one. After Callie was knocked out from fall damage, Aphrodite like appeared to her in her unconscious or like in her psyche and was like, "It's not your time. You still have more stuff that you need to do. Your life
and
isn't over yet."
um,
And then
That's
she was
weird.
healed by Ash.
Think that's a DM call.
yeah. I was just about to say, um, it may not
Uh,
have been the goddess Aphrodite, but it could have been a goddess that is no longer in
Like,
system, known as Eros.
also, I have a question.
Yeah,
What is that? What is below the table? Because I'm just seeing a big missing texture spot.
carpet
Oh, okay. No, not
and
like
crumbs.
physically, not physically below the table, but like lower down on the map, like
Huh.
closer to the edge of the thing.
I'll
Around the
send a
chair.
I'll send it.
I- Is
Oh,
that
you're
like
talking about you're talking about down here.
is that another summoning circle that I can't see?
Yeah, that's an animated thing. That's probably why it's not showing up for you again. Yeah,
Okay.
it's just another chair right now that is
uh,
behind a
It's a
circle of
chair and a
salt.
magic circle. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I was just wondering
Um,
because I just see like a humongous square of red and black check of missing texture. So,
yep. And another point of order, you would mention there was a box upstairs, Franklin, that you left with uh Ishmael
Yeah. That
for
box.
yep, for torques. Did anyone actually leave their torques up there from the good campaign, or did everyone? I just needed to ask that question before I forgot.
did my
I think
admiral command me?
I probably would have complied. I probably would have taken the torque off and thrown it in the box and looked around and said, it's for the best, I guess."
Okay, then yeah, Kira would have dropped the Torg off. Not the holy symbol, though. Not that.
Whatever the crew
I'm,
decision was, that's what Nimue would have done.
I'm gonna say Zero kept his out of like pure selfishness.
Boy,
I mean that was what he was banished to hell for, so it does fit.
you the weak link in the chain.
And
Secrecy. Secrecy!
and that would leave Grand Dam whether or not you were
Uh,
taking that torque off.
Yeah, he'd follow suit. He already got in trouble for talking where he shouldn't have been talking.
And
Well,
Well, that
I'm
that
not
lec-
gonna
that
say
lex- that lecture from Kiro is still coming.
I'm not gonna say
Ah,
he leaves it, but Zero would at least take it off, but he would keep it on him somewhere. So he still has it
oh,
with him, but it is not around his neck.
okay.
Grand Dam's going to wild shape into an earthworm, which doesn't have ears, and squiggle into like a pot of dirt somewhere.
Oh, poor Grandam.
I have another
So,
question that is kind of stupid and meaningless, but it could lead to like a little character point or something. Are Callie and Nimue the only two like women here, or is there another character that is like?
yeah, I think those are the only women. Mime and Mame identify as they them, so they are the only two that we have yet to hear from. I know you're not sitting at the table, but everyone's kind of stood up and said their piece. It seems like for the most part, besides Grand Dam or Faust, and I know Ezra's.
Them or they.
Those that Grand Dam is an earthworm and probably wriggling through some.
That would
volcanic
be
waters.
that would be in response to a scolding from Ezra, or not Ezra,
Oh,
the other one, Hero.
here.
Ezra right now saw you slink away. He's like standing on over the food, just triumphant.
Callie would
No,
have probably
it's
walked up
not
to him
food.
and started gently petting Ezra, just touch as an attempt to calm him.
Oh, he's happy. He's a happy puppy right now.
He shouldn't be, because Grand Dam turning into an earthworm was a joke, not something that happens.
And I
Well,
guess we haven't.
In
Callie's
his
gonna
mind,
either.
he thinks he won the food. In his
And I guess
mind,
The food
we
has
haven't
not been abandoned.
heard from
Well,
Aganon either.
Callie's
Technically,
gonna still stand over there by him, but her eyes are kind of like her eyes wander over to Nimue and the fact that like she's the only other like lady here. Like
and
that is who has her attention right now.
and I guess Aganon too hasn't spoke their piece.
Nimue spoke.
Nimue did, but Aganon did
Yeah.
not.
Oh,
That's what that's what I was just pointing out.
so without standing, he goes, I just think it'd be fun.
Fun to be God.
Yeah,
It's a huge responsibility.
make some real change that I want.
Callie is gonna look at Franklin and raise her hand with a question.
I'm not in charge. You can speak. Or,
So if we all become gods, is it gonna be like where we're each in charge of this specific thing? Like,
hold on. The godhead was only offered to Team Good Guys.
oh, well, if they do, would that be like a situation they would have to deal with, like divvying up who's in charge of what?
No idea. I just wonder. I mean, this is Franklin. Sorry. Says, I just wonder. You guys will become gods, but currently, people like Kiro here view the gods and their plans and their meddling and their decisions almost as if it's divine intervention, as if they are omniscient, omnipotent, or whatever it is, have some grand plan. They are always infallible. That's the word that I want. That they are infallible.
Hero walks
But what
over
I'm
and he looks
hearing is
down.
that you guys will all
They
become
are.
gods, and you are all fallible. Are you going to become suddenly perfect, Kiro?
Ah!
Will you
Granddad
lose your
snaps up.
personality and become perfect, Kiro, when you become a god, or will you still maintain your own flaws?
I will not trespass in the realm of the gods. That is not mortal design.
Okay, but like the others can. So let me just shift this conversation. What if the Admiral became a god? She's not perfect, she's great, but not perfect. She has
Callie-
flaws. She's
Callie's
human.
gonna
She doesn't
Callie's
know
gonna butt in,
anything. Sure.
and Callie's gonna point directly at Zero because she was wandering like hell to find her parents. That face is familiar. I'm pretty sure I saw him on my journey to find my parents. He's been to hell at least once. I can tell.
We're all currently in hell. Well, our team is.
No, she's pointing directly at Zero, my other character, who
Who's from the
just
good
got out
game.
of who just
Right.
got out of hell.
Uh,
And there's no reason for him to become perfect, given that he was flawed from the beginning and banished, and ended up
we don't know if he's
crossing.
going to be perfect. He could just become a god because he was given godly powers. Do you not see my issue with this? You're saying that all the gods before us are infallible and all wise, they have a great plan, and yet at the same time you will become a god knowing you are flawed. Knowing you don't know everything, you're not omniscient. Will you suddenly become omniscient? Probably not. They
course not.
fled this system because they are scared. They're afraid. They don't know. They are flawed. They are simply powerful beings
Of course they are.
influencing things.
You're
Then our friend Kiro here is acting as if their word is
They are.
divine.
It is.
They are divine, but they can
Why
be
don't
wrong
we all become gods and find out? Fuck around and
because
find out.
it's only for you.
Let's do
We're
it.
going to be over here in a race.
I mean, but then we'll have
Grand
the
Dam
power to
begins
do
to blow a
something about it.
raspberry and
I don't
boredom.
know. I like Mame. I want Mame to suffer.
Hold on, one person
What's
said
up at
something
Mame?
else.
We do a fist bump.
You guys are cute.
Grand Dam, out of poppers, begins to blow a raspberry.
Okay,
As a
buddy.
worm.
No, he's not a worm.
That was in response to something that's going to happen, I guess.
Yeah,
That's
later.
a future hypothetical.
So, listen.
So we could become
Listen.
gods and have cool new powers and see what happens, or we could choose not to become gods and
I have a question.
what?
Fuck this whole god thing. We're all in agreement that the necromancy cult should not become gods.
Yeah, okay, let's
PNC
yeah, that's a good
let's
idea.
find
Let's start with
common
what we
ground.
agree. Yeah, I like this guy. I don't necessarily think that the PNC should escape. I'd like to keep this system closed.
There.
Turtle
I
we
think that
agree
it's
on.
inevitable that they're going to make it to the moon. I don't think either
Not
of us.
necessarily. I have a plan, but it requires our teams to work together.
I'll work with you.
All of these. Go ahead.
If, when we are done, I can send your poor soul to the other side.
Let it rest, Kiro.
He's
We
trying
can
to.
talk about it later, but I'd like to at least to sit for 100 years, and I can explain why to you later.
Okay. Math. 10 million undead at a tower. 1 undead here.
That's a good point. Secondary math. They're all okay. Here's my thinking. You guys confirm, yes, you have a magic bottle full of holy water, a sea's worth. Yes?
correct.
Is it holy?
I think so.
Yes.
What?
Rene looks around like, is it holy?
Yes.
Pretty sure you guys got it.
Kiro gives you the nod of yes, Admiral.
We also know that in order to get to the moon, they will have to pack all of their million undead into their spaceship, which are famously airtight.
Do they? I
There
also
are humans among them. They are not just undead. They must breathe.
Also, not all spelljammers are airtight. They're weird.
Point of order. They're going to all get on a ship and go to the moon, right?
Wait, man, but we don't know the ship. I bet the tower's a ship.
They said they were building it.
How many are going to be on it? Like, we don't know nothing.
No, we don't. But I'm just I'm throwing out hypotheticals. We're gonna have to get more information. But as you say, we're trying to find common ground, and then we can work out from there. These guys will be on one ship trying to escape from here to the moon. That's the plan. They're gonna all pack into one spot and go. What happens if you open up that holy water sea inside that ship en route to the moon? You kill everyone.
Including you.
God willing.
That's fine. If that's what has to
By you,
happen.
I mean like whoever's on the ship. So
Yes.
whoever goes on the ship then is then becoming a sacrificial person.
Right, unless they specifically can breathe underwater or don't breathe and coated themselves in adamantine so they wouldn't take damage from holy water.
Callie is gonna jump up away from Ezra and say, I mean, I can breathe in any liquid. I'm a water nymph. This is
Great.
kind of my forte.
What happens if holy water hits you? Do you die?
And
No,
This guy might be great.
I'm not like necrotic or anything. I'm not undead or anything. So I'm just a water nymph who was blessed
Right.
by a goddess. So I
We
would
can
assume it
attempt.
wouldn't affect me.
Yeah, we can attempt to figure out an escape plan as well. I'm just throwing out an option. Where are they going to be the weakest, right? Not in the tower. They're defended there. Not on the moon. In transit. That's where you hit them. And you hit them with a fucking ocean's worth of holy water in an enclosed space full of undead. Right. Take a second to let that sink in.
Callie is now walk over to stand by Franklin, and Zero is currently just standing with his arms crossed, but he's looking down at the nebula below them through the glass floor as he considers his options.
What would that accomplish? We'd kill all the undead. We'd protect the world. We wouldn't have to become flawed gods and continue working into that system. If you want to, maybe, but
And then
Kira,
Callie's gonna do it again.
kind of look.
And we get a free spaceship.
Kira looks at you, Franklin.
2 spaceships, because I'm not going to say that part. Never mind. 1 spaceship.
Kira's gonna look down at you. I'll make you a deal.
All right, let me guess. You're going to kill me one day?
We will help you stop the PNC from our side. We will
Great.
flood the ship, make them die.
You can't get in the ship. How do you get in the ship?
We're going to flood like you're wanting, or maybe we help you get the things that will help you flood. However,
Callie's gonna butt in.
my
again.
retort, I will let you even come back to the material world, and I will give you 1 lifetime.
100 years.
1
Minimum.
lifetime.
No. 100 years. I pull out a contract in a book that I had copied out onto scratch paper.
100 years, no day more, no day less.
A creature attuned to this book for 100 years can unearth a passphrase hidden in the original text. When transferred, the celestial and spoken out loud, which I speak, destroys both the speaker and the book in a blinding flash of radiance. As long as evil exists in the book, in the infinite sea, the book disappears for 1d10 times 100 years. 100 years.
100 years. And I will
Wait,
personally
you
walk
live 100
you
years
there.
so you can be destroyed?
Yes. And with it, destroy this. which is the only method. Well, destroy, and I pat another lead box next to me that's like attached to my hip, so you steal it.
Not the Pokedex. So much
I have
information in the Pokedex.
the Pokedex is a direct link to one of the remaining evil gods in this world. We're connected to this world. My intent, long term, would be for this system to be without gods. There are 2 good, 2 bad. The rest have fled, and the system is closed. If you can get the 2 good to leave, and I can get rid of one of the bad in 100 years, and the other bad is still trapped in the center of the planet, we could create a system free from the external like influence of gods. That would be my dream. I'm willing to compromise on that, of course, but I'll just put it out there. That would be the ideal, right? We compromise, we find a way, we save this entire
I gotta add a
system.
character to your question.
Sure.
What are the 2 gods what are the 2 good and 2 evil gods that are stuck here? Like, do we know for sure which ones they
Maniopolis
are?
is the evil god. We have Torx for him, and he is trapped in the center of the planet to be freed if all of the seals of hell are broken,
So he's the
which
one
would
that
also destroy the planet.
so he's the one that the evil campaign can talk to, right?
Yeah, he was
Yes.
talking to you when you came in. Yep. Everybody else's torques from that campaign are already in a lead box.
Yep.
That's why it was
Okay.
like, oh, finally.
Callie just chose to ignore that. So she just pretended like she
Then-
didn't hear it. So
Then I don't know what my evil god's name is. That's Josh's thing still. But I have the book for him, which if I can get rid of, removes the potential of him coming here or whatever is going on for upwards of 100,000 years.
Kiro extends his hand down. Then we are record.
Yeah, hold on, buddy. We gotta write this shit down. I'm a demon. I gotta write a contract, my friend.
so who are the 2 good ones? The 2 dragons, right?
The 2 dragons you guys are just talking to in the good campaign.
Yeah, sorry, you jumped in right when shit was getting
Shit hit the
real
fan.
high level.
Yeah.
I'm trying to process this.
Conversations.
I'm trying to make 2 and 2 equal 4. So then
Yep.
how is this gonna like I'm trying to hold on.
Work. People just live their lives.
No, not that. If Kalimba still has connection to that one god, how does that work? Are they like not like because the 2 dragons, they're not that one god or goddess that Kalimba has a connection to and can speak
Mhm.
with apparently in her unconscious state.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that I'm just
If I
trying
remember
to
how, if I remember how Josh told it, it's kind of like when Kiro tries to speak to his god Eerie. I'm speaking to this universe's version of my god.
Yep.
So the Lord of the God of Death here is translating my God of Death wishes.
okay, but my like
I
are
think you're
either of the
trying to
dragons
I think
the
you're trying to
goddess of like
reconcile the fact that the other gods have left the planet, and
yeah, I'm trying to figure out how it's gonna work if I can still talk to one of them because are either of
so
the or is anybody
left
the
they left the planet to put it in perspective for you, but they haven't left the solar system. The solar system is quite large, even though they didn't, they're still tied to this planet and its existence, more or less, because of the humans that had and the sentient races that worship them and such, but they don't reside there currently. Their forms have left. They're what's the word I'm looking for? They're like vessels have left the planet.
They're currently
But they
looking
still-
for new real estate.
Yep, but they still have contact with their old home. So you are still able to access your powers via the pact you made with her,
So,
to answer your question.
so Kalimba is like the final key to Franklin's plan because she can contact the gods that are. She has contact with one of them that aren't physically here.
Potentially.
Okay, that's interesting. I was just trying to get everything into perspective because a lot. I just had a lot to absorb. So
I
Right.
understand.
okay, Callie is going to look at Kiro and Franklin. So you two achieve your goals. What happens to the rest of us? Like you
Do
achieve your
whatever you want.
goal. My
Live your
goal is
life,
to go
man.
back. My goal is to go back home. I'm not from here. I don't
And neither am
belong
I.
here.
Then leave.
And-
How?
If once this is, I mean, you will have to discuss that with the rest of the gods. They're the ones who brought you here against your will. They can do it. They just have to be part of the agreement, right?
But if you're trying to get rid of the gods, that
Yes.
effectively gets rid of my
Yeah. So we do a
leaving.
Frodo scene where right before
Scapegoat.
they leave Middle Earth, you guys get on the magic boat and you sail away at the same time. You don't know that movie, sorry.
So
I know about
it's
boats.
it sounds like we're not going to reach a conclusion tonight, but we're all together as in character wise, so we could just pick it up right from the spot next session from the evil
Yep.
campaign side of
I think
things.
so.
The evil
So-
side.
Lots of
Ezra,
things
the
to think about.
The conquering food hero. Ezra, the conquering food hero. Bam! Owning that Grand Dam. Oh yeah.
Grand Dam wild shapes and takes the form of a giant frog with a distended maw and swallows Ezra.
Well,
No.
You can't die.
Ezra would look at that as a challenge. Let's go.
what was were you gonna say, Emily?
Next week I will only be able to listen because
Okay.
I'll be traveling again.
Okay.
But I'll be there so I don't miss anything.
Yeah, I mean,
Aganon doesn't
it's
really
probably
talk
going
much
to be
anyway,
more
so
talking. Yeah.
yeah.
Somebody remind me when the dates of the stuff is for your
We got a week, bud. We got a week.
Next
we got a
week.
week.
Next week.
Next week.
Yep. Next Friday is
Yeah.
the 30th.
Yeah.
The following.
So if you get home, when do you get home next week?
Well, I'm not leaving out till Tuesday because Memorial Day's on Monday.
Okay.
Yeah.
When do you get home?
The goal is to get home like Friday afternoon. Early, preferable.
All
And-
right.
We don't start the D&D until Saturday, but Friday is kind of like just going to be the evening for anyone that's getting here too. Is generally because I work or I don't.
Is that a 6-hour drive?
But
It's gonna take us about 8 hours, give or take.
All right.
I'll be
all
there
right.
in spirit. So
Let's make this happen, Captain.
It'll
We
be
might
an
be rolling in late.
interesting,
You might be rolling in late.
interesting
We'll be there.
rhythmic.
oh, got a few new folks.
Is there anything different this time about it, or just so many new people?
A lot of new people, and there's a lot of actual stuff going on now in the game.
Jacob, on the travels, make sure we keep track of all of our receipts because this is technically considered business for us. Technically, hypothetically.
So, do people stay in character for a lot of your rhythmic? Your
Right.
rhythmic, wow.
I
Or
need
no?
to make a level 13 version of Jacob.
It
What
It
am I?
kind of depends.
Okay.
So in the last couple of years, we've had more people come that don't regularly play. So we do a couple things in game, and then it kind of devolves into hanging out, which is fine. But during the actual like gameplay itself, you would generally want to. In the past, we normally do like mini games, and then there's like a arena combat where if you want to fight each other, you can.
You get
For the
rewards.
I wasn't-
entertainment of the gods.
Sure, like how accurate of a costume I needed to have, because I don't have anything that actually looks like my character, but I have like generic Renfest stuff.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
will not be cosplaying.
I'm wearing blue jeans and
Just
some form of t-shirt.
Yeah, my cosplay is the fact that I
I
am a
mean, if y'all want to join, when y'all do this, if y'all want to jump in, if one of y'all wants to jump in a voice call and put me on speaker, I do want to fight in the arena with a couple of y'all. So
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know how logistically possible that is considering the circumstances, but one of
We will see what
two
we can
reasons.
do.
One of the two reasons just being that what you already alluded to, Matt, which is like if you thought this session was chaotic, those in-person sessions that we have only 2 of in a year are like trying to wrangle
Thralsons.
yeah,
I can't wait for y'all to meet Grand Dam in person. It's going to be great.
I'm so
Just bring a
excited to be
Slurpee.
able to actually have side conversations and react in real time to the things that happen, because I always, like as Nimue, I always have something I want to say or a way I want to react to something, but I don't want to interrupt anyone. So I'm so excited to be able to just do it and not
Oh yeah.
intrude,
yeah.
on the main conversation.
see,
Yeah,
like,
there's
this
no
one,
intruding.
This event's
I
happening
saw
after I've cut my beard. So yeah, I cut my beard down.
Oh, and I've been
I'm het.
trying to
this
grow
time
one
next year,
finally.
I will be able to attend because I have a little countdown app, and my birthday is in exactly 222 days. So
Oh yeah,
I can do it next year.
sweet.
All right.
Yeah, in the past, all of the Eurythmics have been at least since I had started. The only time any of our characters knew each other or talked to each other or anything.
So the
But
first time in game that they've all met.
Yeah, it all started because some other player that is no longer here during a Eurythmic handed their character a phone, and Josh was like, "It's in the world now," and I went, "What?"
See, that sounds like something I do because I just be doing whatever I feel like. So
Yeah, that's what the session, the Eurythmic Veracities are all about. It's like,
All right, so I need to find.
that's the whole reason why both of my characters are the way that they are. Because if I had to make one of them like structured and actually logically think, that would be hard for me because I'd just be saying and doing whatever.
All right,
Jacob,
I
you
need to
do realize that our characters are literally the yin and yang of the opposite. Ready? Faust is the brain for Ezra. Kiro is the disapproving authority for Grand Dam.
He can try to
And-
be.
Oh no, he is. There is a stern lecture coming for Grand Dam.
Nobody
just-
told me it was against the rules. It's not against the rules of Vanillamore.
Sorry, that was
Fine.
more of just a off the cuff role playing from my side, even because I was like, I really want to make a spaghetti monster.
No, absolutely. It
Oh
was
yeah, that was awesome.
perfect. And then just like,
I'm
who
just
are you?
surprised. Out of my 2 previous weeks of playing, I have never rolled a high number. So me getting that religion check was the first high number I've ever rolled in that whole thing.
Yeah, worked out
Grand
perfectly
Dam's-
in your favor.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
at least for next time we actually have a battle on
Mhm.
Kalimba's sheet, I do have a +9 in acrobatics. So
Nice.
Yeah.
I was just going to say as a reminder for those that haven't been to an in-person session, so Emily, Rick, and Jake there, that you'll want to create a character sheet for you as a person. I think I've mentioned it before, but I was just
Yeah.
reminder.
Yep. Wait.
I've got an idea.
Also, who's my spooning buddy? Who's my spooning buddy?
I know it's
Yeah.
what are you
What?
talking about?
I already know, Jacob. But we got to get another spoon. We got to get a secondary smaller spoon.
No.
So, Josh, are you or Matt going to be that secondary small spoon?
Okay. I have
I
an
wouldn't.
op-
I wouldn't not volunteer, but my fiance is here, so I'll probably be sleeping with her.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Question. Uh, I believe that
42.
the window of time that I had hoped to find to like do my one shot is approaching within a month or two. How are we
Yeah.
going to resolve that with the fact that Rick's isn't done yet?
Yeah, so I was just going. That is a good question, Rick. Did
Yeah.
you did you want to put an indefinite hold on yours for a while and let others take their turns, and then we can circle
Yeah,
back around maybe next like the latter half of this year to the following year? Because I
yeah,
know Matt had one in mind too that he was
yeah.
looking to do
I'm
this
okay
year.
with that because I'm in I mean, I'll be officially in graduate school and all that stuff, and I need to, just so I can hammer myself out. So
Yeah, yeah.
not this or the coming fall Eurythmic, but like I'll probably one more like the summer of next year. I know it feels so far away, and I
Yeah.
feel like
Nah.
but
No.
also, I want to get through
That's
graduate school,
that's
and so
that's
I
how
can.
that's how we have to plan these things. Is because we want to leave space for
But luckily, I have all the
all this shenanigans.
recordings.
Yep.
I
Mine,
just realized that by the time y'all do the in-person meetup, I will have also graduated my high school. So this is
Well, to put
gonna
it in
be
some perspective for you too, this is the 5th year that we've been playing this game to get to this point.
And then, hopefully, Josh, we can, if things go well with our event in June, if the event happens again next year, hopefully you guys will be able to come down and check out the event.
Yeah,
And hopefully we're doing a lot better as a publishing group because publishing is hard.
yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw y'all's feed earlier, and I was like, yeah, publishing is hard. It's
It
hard out there
is.
for a publisher.
It is super hard.
But hopefully, Josh, because we're actually fine tuning and finishing up a lot of stuff. Jacob is test playing the Gunslinger. We're pretty much almost happy with that one.
Cool.
He wants
that
me
is
to
the one.
revisit.
That's the
Yeah,
one I
we're
was looking at for the heist. I wanted to be a little tiny cat gunslinger and
okay.
just
Well,
be absolutely badass.
the Gunslinger is currently getting rehauled,
Tweak.
tested by your teacher. So yeah, that's getting worked on right now. Because I just added a whole set of new features and things of that nature. So but after that, I believe it's going to be pretty solid. And then Jacob and my son convinced.
You should specifically add a water nymph class for me so I can actually have little cute abilities for clothes.
we can come up with something, but
A grand and wonderful thank you for those who took the time and made it here, to the end of the episode, where I know sometimes we are long-winded and others we are just dead silent. I don't know what to tell you. This is raw here, folks. Please remember to like and subscribe, and you can help support us just by listening. But you can also provide even more support, if you like, by going to Anchor FM page and following the support link there. If you do so, I will personally work in an NPC or an idea, whatever you'd like to hear played out. If you want, you can get a hold of us through one of our many options, including voice messages on Anchor FM, or DM to our Twitter, or any other social media that you can find us, YouTube, etc. You can share your ideas, otherwise listen for the shout out and thank you for making it through.